Galnet News Update, 5th of August 3308. With the firing of the Proteus wave likely to take place on Tuesday next week, with the Pilots Federation urging commanders to be part of history and travel to the HIP 22460 system, and with the expectation of a defining moment in the history of the galaxy, thoughts are beginning to turn to just how successful the long-awaited Proteus wave activation will be, and more importantly, what its long-term consequences will be. Some Imperial and Federal news sources, such as Ion Aknar and Sol Today, have no doubts that Salvation will finish off the Thargoids for good. And they're more worried about the resumption of aggression between the two largest superpowers once the common Thargoid enemy has been disposed of, while the Federal Free Press simply wants funding diverted from backing Salvation to the poor and needy of the Federation. The Tau Ceti Journal, the news feed of the leading independent financial hub, also seems certain of Salvation's victory and worries about the implications on the markets of Azimuth Biotech becoming the galaxy's most powerful corporation. Other journals are more sceptical about Salvation, with the Alliance's Old World Gazette worrying that it was Prime Minister Mahan's deal with Sirius Corporation to exploit the Muscadart region barnacle sites and to terraform ammonia worlds that caused Thargoid aggression, thus creating the circumstances that allowed Salvation to hatch his megalomaniacal schemes. Semius's Citizens Chronicle backs Princess Aisling's assessment of Salvation as a master of self-promotion and public manipulation, a danger to all humanity, while the Empirical notes that while Ramtar understands the theory of how the Proteus wave works, only Salvation has sufficient understanding to know how to construct these strange weapons. Should anything happen to Salvation, the practical understanding of the Proteus wave will be lost, perhaps forever. Salvation has arranged press coverage for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and has even paid long-term Salvation skeptic Commander Psychit and a number of other holovid streaming commanders to tout Daddy Savlon paint jobs from their popcorn stalls in HIP 22460 on those days. So, unless some sort of last-minute technical hitch delays things, it seems that Tuesday is the day. Salvation's stated aim is to disable and capture vast numbers of Thargoid scouts and interceptors, at the same time giving the Thargoid fleet such a kicking that they leave the human-inhabited bubble forever. And that may indeed be what happens, but the law of unintended consequences is strong. What if it doesn't go to plan? Quite apart from the nagging suspicion that an Azimuth Biotech with a fleet of captured Thargoid ships might be significantly dangerous to the rest of humanity, what will happen to the Thargoid pilots of those ships? Will they be left wandering around in a dazed state on the planets of HIP 22460? Will we have to round them up as prisoners of war? What do captured Thargoids eat? Another concern is the recent mention of Thargoid hive ships, or motherships. Salvation, Dr. Caleb Wycherley, was part of the INRAR program 150 years ago to destroy a Thargoid hive ship using the mycoid virus. One of the INRAR bases was attacked and destroyed by such a hive ship. As an analogy, think of an Imperial interdictor or a Federal Farragut battlecruiser, but Thargoid-shaped, loaded down with weapons and possibly with the ability to launch scouts and interceptors. The hive ships have kept well clear of the bubble since the use of the mycoid virus a century and a half ago. That may be through choice. What if they are sufficiently annoyed by their old enemy using another weapon that they break their own embargo and come swarming back into the bubble? There's another possibility too. Perhaps we're wrong to think the Proteus wave is bound to fail. Perhaps it really will be successful. So successful that our enemy melts away, and we find ourselves able to counterattack and invade the Thargoid homelands. With a sufficiently weakened Thargoid force, the Col 70 sector could be opened up. We could take the battle to their homeworld, which is believed to be in Col 70 sector FY-N C21-3. Perhaps it will all just go perfectly for humanity. Perhaps we should have some faith in salvation after all. Tuesday, 9th of August, HIP 22460. You really don't want to miss this one.